You've been told two lies about artificial intelligence. One, it's a magical, conscious brain that's coming to replace you. Two, it's just a boring, glorified calculator. Both of these stories are dead wrong. Right now, the device in your pocket is performing a logic puzzle so complex, it would take you 2,600 years just to read the calculations. But here is the most electrifying part. The very people who built these systems don't actually know how they are making their final decisions. Today, we're opening the black box. We are stripping away the hype, the fear, and the soul-crushing math to show you the logic you are interacting with every single day. This isn't just another tech explainer. This is your roadmap to understanding the most powerful tool ever created, so you can stop being intimidated and start leading the way. For decades, we were trapped. Our computers were nothing more than strict recipe followers. If you wanted a computer to recognize a cat, you had to act like a micromanager. You wrote code that said if the object has triangular ears and whiskers, then it is a cat. But the second you showed it a cat with folded ears, the system crashed. The rules failed because the real world is too messy for a recipe book. This is where you, as a beginner, might have felt left behind by technology. But modern AI changed the game by doing something human. It decided to learn from its own mistakes. Think of AI as a toddler, not a professor. You don't teach a toddler the geometric definition of a feline. You just show them 1,000 cats and say, cat. You show them 1,000 dogs and say, not cat. Eventually, the child's brain notices patterns that we can't even describe. This is machine learning. We stopped giving the computer the rules and started giving it the answer key. It's an assembly line of information where the machine builds its own filters to sort through the chaos of the world. Inside this machine is what we call a neural network. Don't let the name scare you. Think of it like a giant stack of sieves. When you feed an image into the system, the first layer doesn't see a cat. It just asks simple questions. Is there a straight line here? Is there a curve there? It passes those answers to the next layer, which combines those lines into shapes, circles, triangles, edges. By the time it reaches the final layer, it concludes that a circle on top of a vertical stroke is 99% likely to be the number 9. It's not magic, it's just layers of logic working in perfect harmony. But how does it know if it's right? It plays a high-stakes game of hot or cold. When an AI is first born, its brain is empty. It's literal garbage. If you show it a cat, it might guess toaster. When it gets it wrong, the system sends a cold signal back through the entire network. Imagine a giant mixing board with billions of tiny knobs. Every time the AI makes a mistake, it tweaks those knobs, what we call weights, just a tiny bit. It does this trillions of times, over and over, until the knobs are tuned so perfectly that a cat picture goes in and the word cat comes out. It doesn't know what a cat is. It has simply tuned its mathematical dials to react to the pixels of a cat. Now, if you're wondering how this applies to things like ChatGPT, the logic shifts from recognition to prediction. Generative AI is essentially the world's most sophisticated game of fill-in-the-blanks. If I say, the quick brown fox jumps over the, your brain immediately fills in lazy. You don't use a calculator for that. You use experience. You've seen those words together so many times that the probability of the next word being lazy is nearly 100%. Generative AI is superpowered autocomplete. It's a mirror reflecting our own collective language and wisdom back at us. The scale of this effort is what should truly motivate you. To train these models, we've shown them almost every single thing humans have ever written. Wikipedia, news articles, every book ever published. If a human tried to read the data used to train a model like GPT-3, they would have to read 24/7 for over 2,600 years. The amount of math involved is staggering. If you could perform 1 billion multiplications every single second, it would still take you 100 million years to finish the training for a top-tier model. But we don't have 100 million years. That's why we use GPUs, specialized chips that can do thousands of these math problems at the exact same time. In 2017, everything changed with a breakthrough called the transformer. Before this, AI read one word at a time, like a human, but transformers can look at an entire library of text all at once. They use a mechanism called attention to weigh the context of every word simultaneously.
It's why AI can now understand the difference between a riverbank and a savings bank. It sees the connections between every piece of data in parallel, turning raw numbers into deep contextual meaning. Inside this machine is what we call emergent behavior. Nobody explicitly taught AI how to write computer code or solve complex math problems. These skills just appeared. When the math gets big enough and the connections get dense enough, the machine starts demonstrating reasoning, creativity, and even humor. It's like how an individual neuron in your brain can't think, but billions of them working together create your consciousness. We are witnessing the birth of a new kind of intelligence, one built on simple building blocks that have evolved into something world-changing. This is your moment to realize that you are not late to the party. You are at the beginning of an era where we are learning to talk to a statistical god. We can tune the knobs to get the perfect answer, but we are still in the early stages of interpretability, the science of actually reading the AI's mind to understand why it chose one path over another. The future isn't just about making machines smarter, it's about humans learning to direct this alien logic to solve healthcare crises, fix global finance, and unlock new levels of human potential. Don't be frustrated by the complexity. Be inspired by the fact that this entire revolution is built on the experience borrowed from us, from people like you. AI doesn't possess its own wisdom, it possesses our collective history. You are the architect. You are the one who provides the data, the prompts, and the purpose. When you strip away the black box, you realize that AI is just the simplest things, logic, trial, and error done a billion times in a row until they become extraordinary. Now that you know how the gears turn, go out there and build something that changes the world. Your move.